See, I stared at the audience, and now they're all much happier.
That whole commercial break.
All that tension.
Oh, why?
All that pre-holiday tension.
Why? We just had such a nice buffer in commercial time.
Now buffer?
Of sorts.
That was a buffer.
It kind of was a buffer.
Okay.
You know, a lot of people, they know you from your most recent work, and you've had so much success. I don't think a lot of people know that you were part of a stand-up team.
Yes.
It's very unusual. There aren't a lot of teams anymore. There used to be.
Right.
Martin and Lewis, of course,
right.
and Abbott and Costello, but
yeah.
you were part of a stand-up team called Stack and Lane.
Stack and Lane. The comedy stylings, ladies and gentlemen, of Stack and Lane. Patrick Stack, a wonderful guy, very funny guy.
Were you guys, were you good? Did you, what kind of gigs were you doing?
Well, we're no longer together, so we weren't that good. But we had a moderate success. We went out to L.A. and opened for rock acts like Eddie Rabbitt. I can remember opening for Eddie Rabbitt in Petaluma, which is the home of the wrist wrestling championships, which gives you an idea of the culture in Petaluma. And I remember going out and being introduced, and because they're not prepared for that. Usually they don't give you any billing, and so they've timed their drugs for Eddie Rabbitt. And they're all chanting Eddie, Eddie, and they're all wearing cowboy hats, a sea of cowboy hats. And I'm thinking, how many silo jokes do I know? And you get out there, and they were sort of got very rowdy. And finally, the local DJ, who was the host, came out and said, "Look, these guys have flown all the way from New York just to entertain you, so you better shut up and listen." Which is very conducive when you're trying to do comedy. It really endeared the audience to us. And then they were very quiet for the rest of the time.
Did it ever start to almost turn violent?
Yes, I remember one night we were in the Comedy Store in Westwood and doing our act, and a man quietly walked up, got up on stage with us and said, "If you two don't stop this, I'm going to kill you." I sort of said, "Well, how many here are in favor of the death penalty in terms of our act?"
Rousing applause.
No, it takes a lot of courage, and I admire those people who do it, because it is an art form.
Yeah.
And my heart just wasn't in it, though.
The way some people do it, it's an art form.
Yeah.
You live, of course, in Los Angeles now, and I understand you don't.
I do?
Yes, you do.
Well, I wish they'd tell me these things. No wonder I'm not getting my mail. No, I'm still in New York. I still live in New York.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I go back and forth a lot now. I'm in L.A. all the time.
Because I had heard that you spent a lot of time in L.A., and that, because I lived there for a number of years, you have to drive everywhere in Los Angeles.
I know.
To go to any store, you have to get in your car and drive. There really isn't a credible mass transit system. And you don't drive.
There's nothing sadder, actually, than driving in L.A. and seeing someone waiting for a bus. That's the saddest sight in the world.
There's one person. There's a whole bus system there, and one person
used to be
takes
me,
it.
because I don't drive. I still don't drive.
How can you get by without driving?
Well, I'm just like Blanche Dubois. You depend on the kindness of strangers. They'll please take me somewhere. And I remember, when you say that to people out there, you might as well say, "Yeah, I'm a child molester and proud of it." They don't understand the concept of not driving. And I would go to auditions, and have a cab waiting and say, "Could we speed this up because we're close."
My cab is costing me a fortune.
It's costing me a fortune.
Why do you not drive? I mean, it would be easy to learn.
Well, I don't know. I just think I should not be in a big metal thing that can kill people, I'm a nervous kind of guy. I'm a little, let's face it, I have, more tics than David Helfgott, So I'm kind of shaky behind the wheel, so I try to avoid driving. But now it's nice because people will send a car for you, and I like all that.
Did we send a car for you today?
Well, yeah, you did.
The first few years we couldn't do that.
Yeah.
We didn't have the budget.
I had to pay for gas and tolls, but
That's the way we work it out.
It was very nice of you to send the car.
We like to do things on the cheap here. You have a new film coming out, Mouse Hunt.
Mouse Hunt.
What is this about?
Well, I'll tell you.
I'm sorry we're out of time.
Okay, bye-bye. Mouse Hunt, yes. And it's about a mouse, really. It's about two brothers who inherit a house, and there's a mouse in it. And that's where the hijinks begin. And
if there's any hijinks in this film, I'm going to see it.
Yes. 65 mice, actually. It's one mouse in the film, but it was played by 65 mice were bred and trained just for this film. That's why they were born to be. They were raised to be in a movie. It sounds like I know some weird genetic experiment from World War II.
Right.
We will make, you will sing, you will dance, you will act. We will have a master race of mice. But there were 65. It was like Lassie, you know. One was good at sitting, one was good at jumping, one was good at run, one was good with an emotional mouse for the dramatic scenes. And then there was the De Niro mouse that just gained 50 pounds and wouldn't come out of its trailer. And they found out that they were highly. How you doing?
I'm fine. I'm still here.
Nice to see you.
He's creeping up on you.
I found out that they found out they were highly trainable, these mice, you know, and I also saw that, you know, if you squeeze their tiny little heads hard enough, they'll pretty much do anything you want. No,
that works with people too.
Yeah, that's how I got, you know, some of my best takes. You know, with Mike Nichols, he would squeeze my head.
It's just very hard. So you're working with 65 mice.
And Christopher Walken. Which, he had his own trainer there, yeah. But Chris was great because on the first day he said to me, you know, I used to be the deer hunter. Now I'm the mouse hunter.
And then a single tear.
I said, get security. Don't like that look in his eye.
You're also hosting, I was told you're hosting Saturday Night Live.
I'm
is this
very
next
excited.
week?
This is December 6th.
Okay.
Nathan Lane and Metallica. Together again.
No.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, wait, I never thought I would be the one to say, ladies and gentlemen, Metallica. It could be worse. It could be, ladies and gentlemen, give it up, butthole surfers. You know, Metallica sounds kind of quaint compared to that.
Comparison.
Yes. So
I'm going to tune in just to see you say that.
Oh, it's great because they're going to do some show tunes just for me. Chicks and ducks and geese and scurry! And Barbara Cook is going to join them on a big medley. So I think it's very exciting
very nice
television, ladies and gentlemen.
To change their act just for you.
Just for me.
Oh, that's going to be very exciting.
Yes.
Well, Mouse Hunt opens nationwide on December 19th.
Yes.
And, of course, hosting Saturday Night Live on the 6th with musical guest Metallica. And, if you're lucky, Butthole Surfers. And maybe Eddie Rabbit will show up. Wouldn't that be great?
That would be nostalgic, yeah.
Thanks so much. We love it when you come by.
Well,
Continued success and everything. Nathan Lane. We'll be right back, folks, with our very own ventriloquist dummy choir.